Hey guys, welcome back again. Today we're going to have a fast pace, more of a, well, I can't say today. It's going to be over several days. But anyway, we're going to have a fast pace episode because this has actually already been reprimed. I stripped it all the way back down to bare metal. I might show a little clip of that. Back to bare metal, re-sanded it, got it primed, and I actually went ahead and guide coated it, sanded it, found some dents, got them all taken care of, primered it again. So now all I got left to do is block this thing and get the garage cleaned up, and we're going to see if we can't get this thing sprayed. So instead of showing you guys every step, I'm just going to stop in between steps, tell you guys what I'm doing, and heck yeah, we're going to see that bed painted today. So let's get at it. Good news on the tailgate, everything block sanded out, looks really nice. This bad boy is ready for paint. So now we got a change of plans. Instead of painting the bed inside the garage, we're going to spray it in my buddy's paint booth. So I started making a structure there on the trailer, something I could load this bed on top of, and we're just going to leave it on the trailer, and he's going to spray it right there, and then I can pull it home, which is going to work out a lot better for everybody. But this was all just scrap I had laying around. Got a 4x4 on the bottom, built a little knee wall, 4x4 on top. Got a cross brace down there to a block, both sides. Got a brace that way to keep it from rocking, the whole thing moving that way. Them keep it from going that way. Got a support there. And them are just narrow enough. The bed should just sit right over top of that, just like a glove. So that should be pretty sweet. Got the cherry picker rigged up now, or I'm rigging it up now. Got it underneath. Got the ropes back in place, just how I pulled it off. And I'll reiterate again, what I did learn is whenever I dropped that cab, I had everything tied onto the hook. That hook rotated. Flipped one of them off, I dropped my old cab, which wasn't a big deal, it was the junk cab anyway. But ever since then, I learned my lesson. I tie the ropes into the chain hook, or not the chain hook, the chain link, and then you don't have no problems. There's no way it can come off, you get a nice even pick, so that's the plan now. We're gonna get this rigged up and hopefully talk to you guys when this thing's on the trailer. Well, hey, I got this sucker on the trailer and it's already been painted. Super happy with how this thing turned out. I still got to hit that front black. That's what I'm getting ready to start doing now, is taping off them sides so I can spray that in. And then do my undercoating underneath. That way this bed's 100% done. But this passenger side turned out super nice. Body line, laser straight. Could not be happier with how this side turned out. For as much work as I've had to do, all the Bondo I had in there, the patch I welded in, I think there was a dent up here maybe. Welded all that stuff in up there on the rail. Super happy with how this side turned out. And really, for the most part, the driver's side, I'm happy with how it turned out. Everything but this body line up here. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but it's right in here in this bend. It kind of looks a little uneven. And I don't know, I'm going to try to move the camera around, try to get it to pick it up just a little bit. Everything else turned out super good. Body line, super straight. It's just right up in there, just don't look smooth. If you guys have any ideas what I could have done different whenever I was blocking that to try to maybe level that out a little bit more, I don't know. But anyway, it looks good enough for me. Everything else turned out super good. So we're gonna keep moving right on along, try to get these sides taped off. I think these fender wells here, I'm gonna spray them with the spray cans like I've been doing because I think it looks a little bit better. I got some roll-on stuff for underneath, so we're going to experiment with that. And also got the tailgate done over here, and it has one little problem area on it, but what would a paint job be without anything happening? See right there, he had a little bit of a paint reaction. Don't really know what happened. I've stripped this thing twice. I did put paint remover on it, but all that should have been sanded off, so I don't know exactly what would have caused it. But with the flat, it's not even that noticeable. It's hard for the camera even to pick it up. I mean, I know it's there, but all in all, I think it's going to look pretty sharp, especially from 10 foot away. I think it's going to look super nice. So I'm going to quit talking and get back to work, and I'll see you guys here in a little bit. Check this thing out, guys. Got a little bit of undercoat put on it. I did not film it because it was going to be a pain, but look at that. That is the spray undercoat that I've been using. Turned out super nice. That stuff lays down so smooth. If it wasn't so expensive, I'd try to do the whole underneath with it, but at 14 bucks a can, you kind of skimp a little bit. But on a positive note, I bought a $100 roll-on kit to see how I liked it. I started on the underneath of it, really liked the looks of it, so I went ahead and did the whole, I guess you would call it the front of the bed, in between it and the cab. Up and over, really like the way it looks. This is what I'm going to use to do the whole inside of the bed because it's $100 for a kit. I'm not spraying. I'm not going to have to tape all the sides off to do the inside. I can roll it on. Super happy with it. But the problem is, look at this darn trailer. You see how much splattered down, dripped down? So imagine what I looked like laying underneath that trying to do it. It was a nightmare. I was a mess. And I didn't quite finish all of it. I made sure you can see my bolt. That's the mounting areas where it goes on the frame. I made sure to hit them good because I want it to sit on the frame and be able to touch up any areas I didn't get to. I'm going to say 90% of this is done. You can see over there I got a brace that I didn't get, kind of up over here. I didn't get up high enough. But I can touch that up with the spray can easy enough. I just wanted to get the majority of this undercoated and to see what it looked like. And super happy. I'm going to use that kit definitely on the inside of the bed. But yeah, what a mess. If I do this again, I will definitely flip the bed over like I did the cab. But it's all a learning process. I'm happy with how everything turned out. And the great thing is, I got the cherry picker rigged up. We're getting ready to pick this thing up, bring the truck in. I got a little nervous loading it. I had the mule tape, just a single strand coming up. I doubled it up. Also, I was coming from these back holes, so you can imagine how sharp of an angle it was really digging into that bed there. Was worried about it cutting it, so doubled it up, moved the rope up so it's not as sharp as an angle, so that picks a lot better. Got a strap on it. I've done a test pick, picked it up just a little bit. It picks nice and level now. So I should be able to get this thing up, trailer out of here, back the truck right under, sit it on there, and finally get to see what this truck looks like all together. Because, man, it's been probably over a year since I've seen this truck assembled. I'm very excited. Really like that color. Really excited to see it up against that cab. I mean, I feel like a kid on Christmas right now. I'm so darn excited. The only problem is, as you guys can tell, I do thoroughly enjoy junk. And you can imagine, the truck is sitting over in the lean-to, and you can imagine how much stuff I have piled around it. So that'll be tomorrow's project. Get that thing cleaned out, get the truck out, and get this thing sitting on it. So we'll see you guys then. Guys, I am one happy camper. Look at that front windshield. Got it all installed. I did have the professionals come in and put it in because I do not trust myself. While they were here, I went ahead and had them install the back window. Looks pretty good. It's already tinted. This will be painted. It was painted black originally, but it had some scuffs and stuff, so I sanded it down. Had them install it. That way they didn't have to worry about scratching it. Then I'm going to touch that up and paint it. But heck yeah, getting this cab sealed up. Snuck the bottom drive shaft back in, or the rear drive shaft in. So now I'm going to show you guys a little problem I'm dealing with. You look at the front of this truck, I got the wheels cut all the way to the passenger side. And that is it. That is all the turn I got. Now, let's see it turn to the driver's side. Look at the difference. It cuts so much sharper to the driver's side than what it does to the passenger side. So that's what we're going to try to tackle now. And I got to doing some thinking about all this. And every component, don't pay attention to them, them will be hooked up eventually. Every component of this is slotted. That's slotted. Your steering column, obviously, it just spins round and round and round and round, so that don't matter. And then, yeah, pretty much everything is where it has to be. So my way of thinking is this link right here, I'm going to have to shorten it. I'm going to have to lengthen it. And take some of the throw away from the driver's side to the passenger side, I believe. Because as I lengthen that, that's going to pull my arm on around. That's going to bring this tire back a little bit. And hopefully that gives me a little bit more turn to my passenger side. I did a little research, and even though it's got a drop pitman arm, putting a 4-inch lift, a lot of people run into the same problem. So I'm going to try to extend that and get back with you guys and find out if that fixes it. That's a lot better. There's to the driver. Now let me show you the passenger. Oh yeah, definitely turning a lot sharper. I counted the rotations on the wheel and it should be close. Each way was about a rotation and a half past center, so that should be about even. We'll drive it a little bit and see what it feels like. You know, if it's still turning a little bit, I can always adjust it a little bit more. But there was my adjuster. Can't see it. Oh, there it is. There's a slot there. This thing was seized up so bad I had to get a wedge in there and drive in there and get this split apart. Once I got it moving a little bit of oil in there, rocking it back and forth, got that thing freed up. I am gonna have to touch the paint up on it, but the important thing is I got my steering figured out. So we are just chipping right on away. Drive shaft's in, windows in, steering's good. I'm thinking, throw these taillights in this bad boy, the wiring for the rear, and I got to adjust the TV cable for the transmission. This thing shifts very sluggish, shifts way too soon, and they kind of got it jimmy rigged on there, so we are going to adjust it a little bit, try to get this transmission shifting right. The other things I mentioned, and we're going to take this thing for its first drive. Now, I know them tires are out around. It's going to be a bumpy drive, but we're going to do it. And it's going to be in this video, so let's get going. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to start up here so you get the whole picture. I got these smoked out marker lights. Super happy with how they've been looking. Now I got the smoked out taillights back here. Super happy with the turnout of it. This truck, I really like the color combo, especially once I get that rear window painted. It's going to look super good. The only problem is the stock one had a chrome bezel that stuck up a little bit more and covered that. This one does not. I didn't take too much time in there sanding that up and making that look pretty before I painted it because I thought it'd all be covered. Kind of my bad. I guess I need to have all my parts in and have it assembled before I paint it, but hey, I'm happy with it. So we're going to move on over here to the rear wiring harness. I got to install it. And like I said, I got to run the fuel cylinder wire down this harness. It was with the other harness. I didn't like it. I'm going to put it in with this one. But before I install it, I'm going to go ahead and get in here. I'm going to ohms it. Make sure everything's good. Make sure I don't have no breaks, because right here I can already see they got electrical tape. There ain't no telling what they did. And make sure that they haven't done something else in the rest of this harness. As long as everything checks out good, we'll get this cleaned up and get her put on the truck. So let's get. All right, guys, I had to stop on the rear lights for a little bit. I got something pretty exciting to show you. And I can't start over there and show you because it's not going to have that wow factor. Because they're not shiny, they're not new, but I am going to put them on this truck and see what the stance looks like, and that's going to help us pick out either our new ones or maybe refurbish these. And that is these bad boys right over here. Check that out, guys. This truck had 31 stock. These are 35s. A little bit wider, a little more aggressive. The rims, I don't hate them. I don't like them aluminum. I'd prefer them to be black. But we're going to put these on. That's going to let us see how the offset is, how wide they are, how much they stick out. And that's either going to help us pick our set of rims out for this truck, or we'll refurbish these and leave these on here. Because, man, them tires are dang good shape. Cannot complain about that. But I think it's just going to help this truck out a lot, not having them tires sunk in as much as they are. So let's quit talking and put these bad boys on and see what it's going to look like. Well, you guys are going to have to let me know what you think in the comments about the offset on these. I'm almost feeling like I want them a little bit wider. I don't know. The fronts look pretty good. The back has still kind of got that tucked look. If anything, I kind of wonder what an inch spacer would look like on the back and bring that one out just a little bit, because the front ain't bad. See, that front just sticks out a little bit. I really like it. It makes it look aggressive. This back here is just tucked just a little bit. So I don't know. If they're not that expensive, I might get an inch spacer and put on the back and just see what that looks like there. But it did fill the fender wells out a lot more. That ain't too bad. Not at all. All right, back to working on the lights. All righty, got my rear harness all put in and installed. Turned my lights on to check, and wouldn't you guys know it, not a single light. So now I'm gonna go up to the firewall, pull that back off, take a test slide, test, see if I got power. As long as I got power up there, I own the harness, I should have lights. I checked back there at the trailer plug, I'm getting no power. Back up to the firewall, let's check it and see what we got. Test slide, hooked to ground there, got my block off here on the firewall. And I'm gonna get in here and do a little testing. One of these has gotta be the marker lights, which is what I have on. And I'm getting nothing. So let's go on to the fuse block. Alrighty guys, let's start with the old brake lights here. Whoa, now we're talking. So you got my marker lights on. Heck yeah. Ended up having to run a little separate ground, which I kind of suspected too. I ran it right here. The bed, with everything being undercoated on the frame and the underneath of the bed, I didn't figure it'd be making too good of a ground connection, so I changed the fuse out, ran another ground, and heck yeah. I tell you what, I'm gonna tidy up that wiring down there. It runs up to the front, just that TV cable, and we're gonna take this thing for a ride.